night, when the truth calls, one voice rises. Can hold him, no fear in his eyes. Jey Morales rising under blood-red skies. From twisted thoughts and secrets untold, he walks the edge where the brave and the bold speak of the stars, the lies and the dreams, chasing the lightning in a world torn at the seams. Do you feel it rise up? The fire in your veins. The truth is calling. Keeps his soul reborn. Between the madness and the peace he seeks, he finds a wisdom that the violence speaks. No script, no limits, just the raw and the real. Every word I have heard in truth, forged in steel. Sky is burning, the earth's alive. Can you feel the power? It's time to win. Jey Morales. Raising a fire from the underground. Jey Morales Unbound. Let the whole world hear mighty sound. From the deepest clouds to the battleground. Jey Morales! Jey Morales. Unbound. dead of night. In the dead of night. In the dead of night. In the dead of night.
Oh man, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back and happy Friday and happy Father's Day weekend to all of you out there. Welcome back to Unbound Season 2, Episode 29, the show where we cut through the noise and connect the dots and break down the biggest stories shaping our world right now. I'm Jey Morales, as I said, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, Revelation. Shout out also to Revelation because his birthday was this week. How you doing, Rev?
Older, definitely not wiser.
No.
Uh,
I call bullshit on
uh,
getting wiser as we get older.
yeah, no, we're getting dumber. Our brain is like, yes, that is 1 year down. Let's just you free brain cells. We don't need you.
Yeah, we don't need you. We don't need you. Here we go.
I don't care what those smartest people alive are like. They're losing brain cells.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, Revelation. Fuck yeah.
I don't know what you were playing because so it just looked like you were doing this the whole time, and like.
Well. Don't say what that looked like, ladies and gentlemen. Again,
we know what it looked like.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And tonight we have another packed episode of covering international diplomacy, American politics, criminal justice, entertainment, technology, sport, and some of the most talked about developments from across the globe. We begin with the Iran war, Iran Daily Chronicle, covering June 16th through June 19th as a dramatic diplomatic breakthrough reshaped the Middle East. We'll examine the U.S. Iran agreement, President Trump's signing of the 12-point Islamabad Memorandum at Versailles, the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, a new announced 60-day ceasefire, sanctions, relief measures, nuclear commitments, and the lingering tensions involving Israel and Hezbollah that continue to threaten regional stability. Next, we head to Chicago, where former President Barack Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama officially unveiled the Obama Presidential Center during star-studded Juneteenth celebration. We'll take a look at the significance of the $850 million project and what supporters hope it will mean for Chicago's South Side for generations to come. Then we travel to Washington, D.C., where the newly renovated Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool is already facing unexpected problems. Just days after reopening following a $14.7 million restoration, concerns have emerged over algae growth, discoloration, and infrastructure issues that are drawing public criticism. We'll also examine a major legal victory for supporters of parental oversight online after a federal appeals court restored Ohio's social media restrictions for children under the age of 16, reigniting the national debate over technology, privacy, free speech, and the role parents should play in their children's digital lives. In legal news, boxing icon Floyd Mayweather's facing felony charges in Vegas, tied to allegations involving a luxury watch purchase, while comedian Carlos Mencia has been charged in California for allegedly failing to report more than $8 million in earnings, raising questions about celebrity accountability and financial transparency. We'll also cover one of the most significant criminal developments in recent memory as Rex Humerman hopefully, or Hugh Auerman, the accused Gilgo Beach serial killer, formally admits to 8 murders and receives a lifetime sentences, bringing a major chapter of the long-running investigation to a close. And in entertainment, we remember the actress Davy Chase, known to many as the voice of Lilo, in for her unforgettable role in The Ring. And Grammy-nominated producer Tate Keith, whose passing has left fans and colleagues mourning, two influential figures from very different corners of the world. On the sports front, New York City erupts in celebration as millions of fans flooded the streets for the Knicks championship parade following the franchise's first NBA title in 53 years. We'll revisit the historic run and the emotional reaction from one of the basketball's most devoted fan bases. And finally,
You could say it did more than erupt.
yeah, it was more than a rep for sure. And finally, we'll bring you the latest from the 2026 FIFA World Cup, where the United States advances. Canada's impressive form continues, and Morocco delivers a stunning upset, and Scotland's famous Tartan army transformed parts of Boston into a sea of blue amid one of the tournament's most memorable group stages atmosphere. From historic diplomacy, ladies and gentlemen, and a major court's ruling to tragedy, celebration, sports, and culture, this week once again demonstrates how rapidly events around the world continue to shape our shared future. And now we're going to get into it. I know that Revelation has some good stuff that is trending this week. You'll be talking about that at the end of the show. But for now, we have the best of the answers of the questions of these articles, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to dive right into the Iran Daily Chronicle. As the fragile ceasefire in the 2026 Iran conflict held amid intense diplomatic maneuvering, the period from June 16 to June 19 marked a critical transition from brinkmanship to formal agreement. Mediated in part by Pakistan and building on earlier understandings, the United States and Iran moved towards signing a Memorandum of Understanding, an MOU, aimed at ending hostilities, reopening the Strait of Hormuz, and initiating broader negotiations. This phase followed months of devastating exchanges that began earlier in the year with U.S. and Israeli strikes, Iranian retaliation, and disruptions to global energy flows. Reports from major outlets detail incremental progress, persistent tensions, particularly involving Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon, and the economic stakes tied to oil shipments. On June 16th, diplomatic efforts intensified even as regional flashpoints simmered. U.S. officials, including those close to Vice President J.D. Vance, signaled a preliminary framework was advancing with provisions for lifting the naval blockade on Iranian ports and ensuring safe passage through the Strait of Hormuz. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi emphasized that the deal was nearing completion, but continued against speculation, stressing that it would encompass an end to fighting on all fronts, including Lebanon. However, Israeli operations against Hezbollah continued, prompting Iranian warnings of a harsh response if those actions undermine the broader ceasefire. Casualty figures from earlier strikes remain sobering, with reports citing significant civilian and military impacts in Tehran and surrounding areas. Analysts noted that the U.S. was balancing pressure on Iran with the need to stabilize energy markets, as the partial closure of the strait had already driven up global oil prices and affected supply chains. Progress accelerated on June 17th. President Donald Trump attending the G7 summit in France formally signed the U.S.-Iran agreement at the Palace of Versailles, following a dinner hosted by French President Emmanuel Macron. Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian, hopefully I'm saying that name right, signed concurrently in Tehran, with some reports describing an electronic or virtual component involving U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance and Iranian officials. The 14-point Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding outlined key commitments and an immediate extension of the ceasefire for 60 days of negotiations towards a more permanent deal. Iran's pledge not to pursue or develop nuclear weapons, face lifting of U.S. sanctions and release of frozen assets, waivers allowing Iranian oil exports, and the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz to commercial traffic without tolls during an initial demining and stabilization period. A proposed $300 billion reconstruction fund for Iran was also referenced, contingent on compliance in further talks, potentially involving the United Nations. Trump hailed the agreement as a win-win that would ease U.S. gas prices through restored energy flows, describing as peace achieved through strength. Critics, including voices in Israel and bipartisan U.S. figures, expressed concerns over concessions to Tehran and unresolved issues in Lebanon. On June 18th, saw implementation steps begin to unfold. U.S. Central Command, CENTCOM, announced the removal of the naval blockade on Iranian ports, facilitating the resumption of maritime traffic. Oil shipments started flowing more freely, with early estimates suggesting millions of barrels moving overnight and contributing to a dip in U.S. gasoline prices. Iranian state media and officials affirmed commitments to safe passage in the Strait of Hormuz, though they linked full normalization to an end of Israeli activities against Hezbollah. Fighting in southern Lebanon persisted, with both Israeli forces and Hezbollah claiming strikes, raising fears that localized violence could jeopardize the wider accord. Humanitarian conditions remain dire in affected regions, with ongoing displacement and infrastructure damages from prior months of conflict. International reactions were mixed. Some Gulf states monitored shipping closely, while European leaders welcomed the de-escalation. Trump and Vance continued public defenses of the deal amid domestic scrutiny. By June 19th, today, the current day, the agreement early effects were evident, but fragile. The MOU 60-day negotiation window was underway, focusing on Iran nuclear program, sanction relief details, and regional security guarantees. Reports indicated that while the strait was reopening, challenges like demining and verification persisted. Israeli operations in Lebanon drew continued criticism from Iran, with some Iranian sources conditioning full Hormuz compliance on Israeli withdrawals. U.S. officials, include Vance, defended the framework as pragmatic, noting lowered energy costs and avoided further escalation. However, bipartisan concerns in Washington highlighted risk of empowering Iran without ironclad disarmament, or disarmament. I don't know why there's two M's, but disarmament. And Israel expressed profound unease. Casualty tallies and economic ripple effects from the broader war underscored the human and financial toll, even as markets responded positively to the prospect of stabilized oil routes. Throughout these days, the Chronicles reflect a high-stakes blend of military restraint, diplomatic compromise, and lingering distrust. The agreement represented a de-escalatory pivot after intense fighting that degraded Iranian capabilities and disrupt global trade. Yet it left critical issues like Lebanon's stability and long-term nuclear assurances open for the coming weeks. As shipping resumed and talks advanced, the world watched to see whether this interim MOU could usher in lasting peace or merely pause a deeper conflict. Now, as our ending discussions come up, I want to say one more thing. I guess there's also evidence there right now. Revelation a couple hours ago popped up that somehow, now that we got oil coming our way and the oil prices are going down, that now there's over $1 million worth of oil missing. What's your opinion on that? But before you give us that opinion, I want to start. Do you have something to say before I start the questions?
No. Start questions,
Okay.
'cause
The
I
question.
got some new stuff.
Okay. So the questions are here. How might the economic incentives in the MOU, such as sanction relief and the reconstruction fund, influence Iran's long-term behavior in the region? Number two, in what ways could ongoing tensions between Israel and Hezbollah in Lebanon undermine the broader U.S. Iran ceasefire? And then number three, what lessons does this episode offer for future U.S. diplomacy involving peace through strength and multilateral energy security? That's a good one. Go ahead, Reb. What do you got for us?
Well, Israel and Hezbollah have already made peace earlier on today, which let me bring it up. So a renewed truce between Israel and Hezbollah was reached June 19th, which so earlier today, to prevent regional escalation from derailing the U.S. Iran deal. So we have already sent special envoy Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner to Switzerland and are just waiting for the Iranian envoy to go to Switzerland to go to continue the peace talks, and they were scheduled to go Friday, and well, it is Friday, so chances are they are on their way and or have already arrived. The other thing, though, that worries me is the strait just was closed again.
Today? Just a bit ago?
Yes. Earlier on today, Iran closed the strait.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back at it again. That's why tensions are hot right now.
Yeah. Tensions are hot because Israel kept attacking Hezbollah, and Trump was like, hey, you fuckers. Yeah, and he was like, hey, fuckers, we're trying to solve this. You keep, doing shit that is going to cause us to, fuck everything up, and we're going to have to stay here and do stuff we don't want to. And they're like, fine, we'll, try and work this out. And then, so
Yes,
they made peace.
Uh-huh. Okay, thank you. Yeah, give me 1 second. Go ahead and keep going, Revelation. We're just having technical difficulties. I can fix it while you talk, but.
And so then at that point, Iran was like, okay, we made peace, or you two made peace. We're going to continue the talks. So that is the current area
okay.
that we are in.
It's fixed now. You'll see it. Thank you. All right, bye. Sorry, we have technical difficulties. We had the pleasure of a regular give us a call and help us out. I'm very thankful for that. All right.
What was the technical difficulty?
We weren't into frame. I was like out of frame. But we're good now. We're good. It's all fixed. That's the first time we ever had technical difficulties like that on the show, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. But we're back. At least it wasn't audio. Like some people, real quick before you say the next thing. Like some people here, ladies and gentlemen, Producer Mike presents In the Jessup Show Legacy every
Wow,
Tuesday
way to call him out.
at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Yeah, Mr. Technical Difficulties, Producer Mike. You'll see me on the show, hopefully, to God, here on next Tuesday. I haven't been part of the show because of technical difficulties, but this Tuesday, you don't want to miss it. We'll be back hot on the Producer Mike Jessup Show Legacy, The Movement. So make sure to find us there every Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, Rev. You can continue now.
Oh, that's it.
That was it? Damn,
Yep.
I'm so
That
sorry.
was all the information on that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're so sorry for the technical difficulties. Thank you for the call again to the regulars. And hell yeah, dude. If it wasn't for the regulars, where would we be? Rev, where would we be? All right.
Still having technical difficulties.
See what I mean? That should have been a good one for like but I don't have it ready, of course. See, where is it? Right here. Aww. Right?
Yeah, that's for the regulars.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the next topic is former President Barack Obama unveils Presidential Center in Chicago, a beacon of hope for democracy and community. On June 18, 2026, former President Barack Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama stood on the south side of Chicago, the place that shaped their lives and careers, to formally dedicate the long-awaited Obama Presidential Center, described by the Obamas and supporters as a beacon of hope. The $850 million 19.3 acre campus in historic Jackson Park represents far more than a traditional presidential library and museum. It is envisioned as a vibrant living hub for civic engagement, education, arts, and community gathering, designed to inspire future generations to believe in the power of service, democracy, and collective possibility. The grand opening ceremony, held under clear skies in John Lewis Plaza, drew an extraordinary assembly of dignitaries, including 3 former U.S. presidents, alongside A-list celebrities, athletes, musicians, and thousands of Chicago residents. The star-studded event featured powerful performances by artists such as Bruce Springsteen, Eddie Vedder, Jennifer Hudson, and Stevie Wonder, creating an atmosphere of celebration and reflection. Barack Obama delivered remarks emphasizing the fragility and preciousness of democracy, urging Americans to resist cynicism and division while embracing shared responsibilities as citizens. Michelle Obama, visibly moving her husband to tears during her speech, highlighted the center's deep roots in the South Side and its role as a full-circle moment for their family and community. The campus itself blends modern architecture with abundant green space, including gardens, plazas, and playground, a basketball court, and a new Chicago Public Library branch. At its heart stands a museum tower with 4 levels of exhibits chronicling the Obama presidency, campaigns, and family life. Highlights include a full-scale replica of the Oval Office and displays featuring Michelle Obama's iconic gowns, such as Narciso Rodriguez's dress worn on election night in 2008. In contemplative space honors victims of gun violence, including Hadia Pendleton, with public artwork by Theister Gates anchoring the atrium. From the Sky Room, visitors enjoy panoramic views of the south and west sides, neighborhoods central to the Obama story. Obama, who arrived in Chicago as a young community organizer in his early 20s, reflected on returning to nearly the same spot decades later with a monumental, with a moment, right? With a, I'm going to start that again. Obama, who arrived in Chicago as a young community organizer in his early 20s, reflected on returning nearly the same spot decades later with a monument bearing his name. He framed the center not as a monument to one man or administration, but a celebration of community resilience and the American story, particularly the progress and ongoing struggles for equality. The Obamas chose Jackson Park, deliberately aiming to invest in South Side and create an economic and cultural engine for the area, with projections of hundreds of thousands of annual visitors every year. The dedication kicked off a weekend of public celebrations from June 19th to the 21st, with free open house events, tours, performances, and family activities as the campus opened to the public on Juneteenth. While museum tickets for the opening weekend sold out quickly, broader campus areas remain accessible, welcoming locals and visitors alike to experience the space as a true community resource. Not not everything surrounding the opening was without controversy. So some subcontractors reported delays in payments and financial strain, raising questions about project management. Additionally, the absence of the current president, Donald Trump, from the guest list, breaking with some traditions of presidential center openings, drew commentary amid the current political climate. Yet the prevailing mood remained one of unity and forward-looking optimism, with messages of hope, service, and civic action dominating the day. For many on Chicago's South Side across the nation, the Obama Presidential Center symbolizes more than a physical landmark. It stands as a testament to the idea that change begins in local communities and that ordinary people, through persistence and hope, can achieve extraordinary things. As the campus opens its doors, it invites all who visit to only reflect on the past, but to carry the spirit of possibility into their own lives and neighborhoods. Now, my ending discussing questions about this. In what ways does placing a presidential center in a historically underserved urban neighborhood like Chicago's South Side differ from traditional models, and how might it impact local communities economically and culturally? Number two, how does the Obama Presidential Center's emphasis on civic engagement, arts, and education reflect broader ideas about the role of presidential libraries in modern democracy? What challenges and opportunities arise when major public projects like this one balance celebration of legacy and ongoing societal issues such as contractor disputes or political divisions? Let us know in the comment section. As always, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think?
So, what I don't understand is, well, one, I don't think it should have been a library because, to be perfectly honest, at this point in time, who really uses libraries? Don't get me wrong, I love libraries and I'm a big proponent of physical books over digital. But schools nowadays, when they tell you to read a book, it's usually like, oh hey, we have access to all of these laptops, just, you know what I mean? Go to this site, school has this. One of the main reasons why people don't go to, main reason why the library here in where I live closed down. Like, and that thing had been here for years. So should have just been a foundation. Could have helped out tons of people, and it being a presidential thing, probably would have gotten government funding.
Right.
Second, the only person born in Chicago out of the Obama family that are adults, Michelle Obama. And she's not even the most famous person. Barack was, for the majority of his childhood, Like I'd say, like I looked it up and I would narrow it down. 80% of his childhood, born and raised in Honolulu, Hawaii.
Yep. Yeah, I
And then
think it was.
the other,
Go ahead.
uh, and then a small portion of it was Jarkey, Indonesia. He went to college, like a higher level, like law college in Chicago, and then became a community organizer. That's that. And then he said, "Oh, well, because it was so good to me, it became my adopted home." Then don't put your name on it. Either put your wife's name on it or your last name. Don't put your whole last name on it. You're fucking like if you're gonna put your name on it, motherfucker. One, I believe there's already things in Chicago with his name on it. If you're gonna put your name on it, slap it in Honolulu, Hawaii. Like I'm glad that he's doing it. Help out underprivileged people as much as possible. But like, bro,
Shots fired!
but like, help out people from your birthplace.
I bet he has something down there.
Shots fired! Shots fired!
Like, I bet you everyone in Honolulu, Hawaii right now is probably, you son of a bitch. Because his grandparents looked after him for the majority of his childhood in Honolulu, Hawaii. And then he's like, well, thanks, guys. I graduated college in Honolulu. Now I'm going to go to fucking Chicago and graduate law school. Oh, shit. Can't get a law degree, or can't get a law job, time to become a community organizer.
Right.
Not downing on the guy, but
No.
I know there's something in there with his, like, already with his name. I forget what it is. It was done like almost like 3 years after he got out of the presidency. I think it was like a museum or some shit.
I think so. I think it was a museum. We're gonna move on now, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna move on now to the most talked about thing this week. The algae bloom that plagues the newly renovated Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool, despite the $14.7 million overhaul. In the heart of Washington, D.C., one of America's most iconic landmarks has once again become a focal point of frustration and debate. Just days after the completion of a high-profile renovation, costing taxpayers approximately $14.7 million, the Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool has turned a murky green, overtaken by a persistent algae bloom that has defied efforts to maintain its pristine, newly painted American flag blue appearance. The project, initiated under President Donald Trump as a part of the broader efforts to spruce up the nation's capital ahead of the country's 250th anniversary celebrations, involved draining the massive 2,000 foot-long pool, applying a specialized blue waterproof coating by Atlantic Industrial Coatings, and installing an advanced ozone nano-bubbling filtration system through Green Water Solutions. Trump had originally touted the fix as a quick, cost-effective solution, initially estimating around $1.5 to $2 million that would resolve long-standing issues with leaks in algae that had plagued the site since its construction in 1922. However, the final price tag balloons significantly through no-bid contracts and additional scope changes, reaching roughly $14.7 million by mid-June. The pool was refilled in early June following weeks of construction. Almost immediately, visitors and officials noticed green hues returning. By mid-month, satellite imagery and on-site observation confirmed one of the largest June algae blooms in recent years, with phosphate levels in the water reportedly far exceeding thresholds needed to keep algae at bay. Algae specialists noted that the shallow, sun-exposed waters combined with nutrient runoff from surrounding areas and the Potomac River influence create ideal conditions for rapid growth, especially during summer heat waves. Crew responded by deploying hydrogen peroxide treatments on June 16th, a method described as mild, eco-friendly shock to combat the bloom, followed by vacuuming and manual cleaning. Compounding the visual disappointment, footage and photos soon emerge showing chunks of the fresh blue coating peeling away from the pool's bottom, exposing darker layers underneath and floating as debris as debris in the water. The National Park Service and Interior Department have attributed the initial algae to residual buildup from supply lines that sat dormant during the 8-week construction period. Officials maintain that the new filtration technology will eventually prevail and that the pool remains a work in progress, with ongoing treatment expected to restore clarity. Critics from across political spectrum have seized on the episode of emblematic of rushed execution. Inadequate planning and questions around procedural, questions around procurement practices. Some point to the no-bid nature of the contracts and suggest possible external interference or sabotage, with unverified claims circulating about deliberate introduction of phosphate to fuel the bloom. Others highlight the technical challenges of managing a massive, shallow body of water exposed to intense sunlight and environmental nutrients. Issues that previous administration, including under President Obama, also grappled with through multi-million-dollar interventions. Supporters of the project argue that the underlying infrastructure improvements, such as leak repairs and the new coating intended to enhance reflectivity and reduce algae adhesions, represent progress despite the early setbacks. The incident has drawn national media attention, with visitors expressing disappointment at the landmark appearance during peak tourist season. Park service crews continue daily efforts to skin, vacuum, and treat the water, while experts emphasize that the complete eradication of algae in such environment may require ongoing maintenance rather than a one-time fix. As temperatures rise and the July 4th holiday approaches, pressure mounts to resolve the situation before larger crowds gather to view the Lincoln Memorial reflection in the iconic pool. This episode of the Reflecting Pool underscores the complexities of preserving historic public spaces amid environmental realities, budget overruns, and high public expectation. And what was intended as a showcase of efficient governance in national pride has instead sparked renewed conversations about infrastructure resilience, government contracting, and humanity's ongoing struggle with nature's persistence. Now, my ending discussions here. Number one, what factors, environmental, technical, or managerial, likely contributed most to the rapid return of the algae bloom despite the multi-million-dollar renovation? How do incidents like the Reflecting Pool renovation highlight broader challenges in balancing speed, cost control, inequality in large-scale public works projects? And number three, in what ways might elevate phosphate levels in algae management in an iconic, whoa, I didn't even finish that. Well, in an iconic national monument. You know what I mean? So, what do you got for us?
So, I don't know anything about algae or anything other than, tons of like people when it happens just, you know, like they just fucking hate it. Like it's hard to get rid of when it pops up. But I do know shockingly when those videos of people peeling it, um a lot of people were like, "Oh, well, this just doesn't look like, your standard like, oh, uh just peeling like over time like worn shit. Like it hasn't even set yet because you can still see the stuff from when it was put down, yada yada. It looks like someone took a knife to it, and then like shortly a day or two after all those people had been saying that, um, the police had arrested somebody with a wet either utility or industrial grade um like box cutter. Now I ain't saying that's what caused it, but like when you're near the reflective pool and you have that kind of stuff, not really helping your case.
Right.
It's kind of like saying it's kind of like bringing a grenade into a building, and it's like, listen, I'm not gonna blow it up. It's like, brother, you have a fucking grenade and you're walking into a building. Why the fuck are you bringing like?
You're gonna blow it up.
Like, yeah,
You're gonna blow it up.
it's like stuff is peeling up and all of that stuff. It's like your knife is wet. It's like, what did you put it in the water so it could fucking drink?
Right. Well, let us know in the comment section what you guys think. And we always go back and check the lives and see what you guys have said, even after this comes out. Ohio court ruling restores social media restriction for kids under 16.
I gotta hear this.
Yeah, I know. Me too. I'm excited to actually find out more about it. In a significant victory for parental rights advocates and state efforts to curb youth social media use, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Sixth Circuit has ordered the restoration of Ohio's law requiring parental consent for children under 16 to access social media platforms. The 2-1 decision, issued on June 18, 2026, reverses a lower court's permanent injunction that had blocked the measure, clearing the way for enforcement after years of legal limbo. Ohio's Parental Notification by Social Media Operators Act, passed in 2023 as part of a broader child safety initiatives, mandates that platforms like Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube, and similar apps verify users' ages and obtain verifiable parental consent before granting access to minor under 16. The law targets addictive platform features, including algorithmic feeds, private messaging, and content sharing tools, aiming to shield young users from documented risks such as cyberbullying, predatory behavior, mental health deterioration. Deterioration linked to excessive screen time and exploitation of personal data. Supporters, including Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost, have long argued that these platforms are engineered to maximize engage that the expense of developing brains, citing rising rates of anxiety, depression, and sleep disruption among teens. The legal battle began shortly after the law's passage when the tech industry trade group NetChoice, representing major players like Meta, Alphabet, Google, and ByteDance TikTok, filed suit claiming the requirements violated the First Amendment by imposing undue burdens on speech were unconditionally vague. A federal district judge in Columbus had sided with with the challengers, issuing a permanent block in 2025, arguing that the law failed constitutional scrutiny as the content-based restriction. The Sixth Circuit panel disagreed in its Thursday ruling, writing for the majority. Judges emphasized that the state has a compelling interest in protecting minors from the well documented harms of unchecked social media exposure. They characterized the parental consent requirements as imposing only a limited burden on platforms and minors' access to protected speech, distinguishing it from outright bans. The court vacated the lower court's injunction and directed further proceedings consistent with its opinion, effectively putting the law back into effect. One judge dissented, maintaining that the measure still risks chilling maintaining that the measure still risks chilling minors' constitutional rights to information and expression. Ohio officials welcomed the decision as a crucial step towards restoring parental authority in the digital age. Governor Mike DeWine and Attorney General Yost highlighted how the ruling aligned with growing national momentum. Momentum for youth online protections, even as similar laws in other states continue facing challenges. Tech companies through NetChoice expressed disappointment but signaled confidence that the law could still face further scrutiny, potentially heading to the U.S. Supreme Court. Implementation details such as exact age verification methods and compliance timelines remain to be finalized, but platforms are expected to begin adapting swiftly. The ruling arrives amid intense national debate over children's mental health and technology. Proponents point. Whoa, what is that? Proponents. Whoa, what was it? Proponents point to the studies linking heavy social media use to increase suicide ideation, body image issues, and social isolation. While critics warns that age gates and consent requirements could drive kids towards less regulated corners of the internet or create privacy risks through mandatory data collection. For families in Ohio, the decision means renewed leverage over their children's online lives, and though enforcement will likely test the balance between safety, innovation, and free expression. As this, whoa, where'd it go? As this landmark case reverberates, it underscores that tensions between technological progress and societal responsibility in raising the next generation. Now, ending discussion. Number one, to what extent should states be allowed to impose parental consent requirements on social media platforms as a means of protecting minors, and where should the line be drawn regarding free speech rights? Number two, how might this Ohio ruling influence similar laws in other states in the broader national conversation around youth mental health and digital regulation? And number three, what practical challenges will social media companies face in implementing age verification and parental consent systems? And how could these affect users' experience for both minors and adults? Let us know in the comment sections, as always. And Rev, what do you got to say about this?
So wait a minute. They want to have your sensitive info so that they can monitor and prevent other sites from having you become addicted to
For children to become addicted.
their potential sensitive info and addictive algorithms. That is the dumbest shit I have ever heard. Like, it's like, yes, ma'am, we need to have your social security, the 3 or 4 digit number on your back when it expires, um, your zodiac sign,
Right.
the tire pressure on your car, how much oil is in it.
We also need to know
Um,
your four last of your social.
we also need to know how many miles are on your engine, how many kids you have, and oh, on the topic of kids, um, we need to have that. We need to have all of their info. And by the way, if they're below a certain age, they cannot be on any social media for longer than insert amount of hours, or we will blow your brains out.
Pretty much. In other words, you're gonna
Like,
get the guillotine because of your children.
and as for the age, I think that should be a cutoff is other than YouTube, like, because YouTube already has a built-in like parental thing.
Yeah.
Uh, 13 or 14 is when I think that they should implement like states should nationwide. It should be like, oh, you're 13 or 14. Um, you like you're under 13 or 14. You can't go on these sites. You can only go on YouTube.
FBI, open up!
Like, oh, you're 14 and up. Congratulations. Go right ahead. You are now trusted with, things. Like, because I'm sorry if you fall into the age group of PG, you shouldn't be on Snapchat, fucking Instagram, none of that shit.
Well, the thing is,
But
when you think about it, the people running these things are the people of our age now. You know what I mean? So they
well, yeah,
know. So they know that we all did it. Those people that ran also when we were kids,
true.
we would go on fucking
But the
Yahoo,
people, but
on
the
the
people,
Yahoo, chat, and you would talk to randos on there and shit
but the
like that.
people, but the people, like making the decisions are like in 60 years old, and they're like, yes, that seems logical. Like they're interpreting it in a completely different way, and it's like, oh, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
Because then they'll be like, oh, that's a genius idea, and then they'll go and be like, oh, yes, that should apply to TV. That should apply to that. It's like, what? So a 13-year-old can no longer like watch TV
Can a
below?
13-year-old now cannot even watch kids no more like it used to be back in the day? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, because I'm pretty sure, like, because I remember when I first got a Facebook, I think I was like 12. I had to be friends with like almost every adult member of my family so that they could constantly check up on me. Like, and that's how it was.
yeah.
Like, and for cell phones, I didn't get a fucking cell phone until I was 13, and it was only to be used for emergency purposes and calling my parents.
Yeah, that's
And it
how
was,
it,
and it was a,
that's
and it was a track phone that had minutes, and those were the only minutes I could use it for.
unless it was after 9 p.m. and then you can talk for free.
9 p.m. I was in bed at 8:30. That was my rule.
Yeah,
I was forced to.
after 9 p.m. those minutes were free. Everybody will know. Leave us a comment if you know what we're talking about. But
Showing our age. Shut the fuck up.
but we're gonna be keeping an eye out on that new law that they passed over in Ohio, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, and we'll keep you updated. See how it goes. See how honestly how these parents are gonna even be able to get prosecuted. If you know what I mean. What is gonna be the actual retaliatory? That's what I kind of want to know. Revelation.
My question is, what if in a big city the chief of police ends up like his kid ends up fucking him over how is that going to work out? Or if he just doesn't decide to enforce it because he thinks it's fucking wrong, what if the mayor of a big city does it? Or the governor secretly thinks it's fucking wrong?
You got a point. You got a
Because
point.
after all, it was pushed through by a parents' advocacy group, aka the HOA of fucking parental rights.
Right. Well, we'll see. We'll keep you updated. And for now, we're going to move on to the next one. We're going to talk about Floyd Mayweather faces felony charges in Las Vegas over allegedly $200,000 bad check.
Jeez.
$200,000 bad check, dude. The
Oh,
boxing.
oh,
Go ahead.
you said a check worth of 200,000. I thought you said
In
200,000
in
checks.
in other words, he made a $200,000 check, and it bounced.
Yeah, I thought you said 200,000 bad checks. I was like, excuse the fuck out of me.
No, 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 no. I meant the $200,000 check. Just one. My bad.
I was like, that's a whole fucking lot of bad checks. I hope he goes to jail.
Hopefully not. He has to fight Mike Tyson this summer.
Ah, I'd love to see that.
I think it's in the fall. Boxing legend Floyd Money Mayweather Jr., long celebrated for his undefeated record and extravagant lifestyle, now finds himself entangled in serious legal trouble in the city where he built much of his empire. The 49-year-old former 5-division world champion faces 2 felony charges in Clark County, Nevada, stemming from allegations that he wrote a bad $200,000 check to purchase a luxury watch from a high-end Las Vegas resale boutique. The case, which has drawn widespread media attention, highlights the contrast between Mayweather's carefully cultivated image of untouchable wealth and the realities of his ongoing financial and legal entanglements. According to court records, prosecutors charged Mayweather in April 2026 with the theft valued at $100,000 or greater in drawing or passing a check with intent to defraud, valued at $1,200 or greater. The incident allegedly occurred in December 2024 when Mayweather purchased an Audemars Piguet watch from Gold and Beyond, a designer resale store in Las Vegas. He reportedly wrote a check from a Wells Fargo account that was later returned for insufficient funds. The store owner waited over a year before pursuing formal complaints, with Mayweather's representative describing the matter as a long-standing business relationship that should have been handled civilly rather than criminally. Mayweather was not present for an initial court appearance on June 15, 2026, but his attorney appeared on his behalf. A full hearing on charges is scheduled for September. If convicted on the theft count, he could face significant prison time, potentially up to 20 years, along with fines. Though outcomes in such cases often depends on prior record, restitution efforts, and judicial discretion. Nevada law also carries penalties of 1 to 4 years, up to a $5,000 fine for the check-related fraud charge. This latest legal development arrives amid a backdrop of other financial pressure for the undefeated prize fighter. Mayweather has faced previous IRS liens exceeding $7 billion and recent reports detailing additional lawsuits, including one from a promoter seeking $4.65 million in undelivered fight advances related to a proposed exhibition against Mike Tyson and Manny Pacquiao rematch. Despite these issues, Mayweather continues to stay active in the spotlight, with exhibition bouts on the calendar, including one against Mike Zambidi in June 2026 His team has emphasized the check incident stems from dispute over goods and services rather than outright criminal intent. For many observers, the charges raise broader questions about financial accountability among high profile athletes and celebrities who maintain lavish public personas. Mayweather's career earnings are estimated in the hundreds of millions, but built on pay-per-view dominance, savvy business moves, and infamous money brand that celebrates opulence. Yet repeated reports of unpaid obligations and legal skirmishes paint a more complex picture of his post-retirement finances. Supporters argue these are isolated businesses. These isolated businesses or business disputes common in high stakes dealings, while critics see a pattern that could tarnish his legacy as one of boxing's greatest defensive technicians and showmen. As the case proceeds towards its September hearing, the boxing world and fans alike will be watching closely. Mayweather has proven remarkably resilient inside and outside the ring throughout his career, often turning potential setbacks into opportunities for reinvention. Whether this felony case resolves quietly through restitution or escalates into a more damaging chapter remains to be seen. But it serves as a stark reminder that even the self-proclaimed the best ever is not immune to the scrutiny or the justice system. Now, ending discussing questions. Number one, how might high profile cases like Mayweather's influence public perceptions of wealth accountability and celebrity privilege in legal system? Number two, what challenges do luxury businesses and athletes face in high value transactions, and how can clear contractual practices prevent similar disputes from escalating to criminal charges? Number three, in what ways could ongoing legal and financial issues affect Floyd Mayweather's legacy as a boxer and entrepreneur, especially as he continues exhibition bouts in 2026? Let us know in the comment section. What do you think?
I don't know what he used that check for on that watch, but it was either to finish paying off the watch or as a down payment. Because Jay, when I tell you some of these prices on the watch, you're gonna shit bricks.
Yeah, I'm about to find a watch right now. Go ahead.
I've already tried looking it up, and it just says the brand. They have no actual name of it. So here's one: the Audemars Piguet Royal, $1,170,000. Then we have another one, the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak, made out of fucking ceramic, by the way, 475,000. Then we have another one, the Audemars Piguet Royal, 440,000. And then we're gonna start getting the Piguet Royal Oak Newitt reference, 462,000. Low price, by the way. Then we're getting into the cheaper ones. The Royal Oak Automatic, 44,000. The Royal Oak Chronograph Men's Watch, 38,500. Yeah.
That is chump change to those people, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trying to find an image, but like you said, let's see. I guess this is I don't know if this is a real image or not, though. That's the problem. This is what. Give me one more second.
Don't you have a function to search an image?
Yeah, I had my buddies over here, look up that image. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. we don't know which one could have been, right? If it was a 200,000,
Yeah,
right?
it's specifically yeah, because all we know is he wrote a $200,000 check.
Okay, so let's say, see, I'm gonna,
Yeah, let's just say he dropped the $200,000 via check for a watch. And I'll look up and see if they have.
okay, here, screen, I'm screen sharing. Can you see this? This is the watch that he might have gotten. This is worth sorry. Why did it do that? This is worth 165,000.
Yeah, I saw one that was worth 170 and one that was worth 180.
Oh, you can't see it because I freaking see that? That's what they're saying. A 2024, right? Royal Oak open worked silver watch, as you can see. So definitely something like this is what he picked up. Maybe in gold, because he likes gold. So I wouldn't doubt it.
He might have also got, the Royal Oak men's, but that's 128. But then why would he drop 200 that one?
Well, that's what I mean. If he paid 200,000, that's why I think is this one, because taxes. And what's the other thing also that people usually get with these type of things, like a warranty or
Listen,
whatever?
listen. If you go to drop, oh no, if you're dropping it via check, if you just hand them cash, I'm 100% betting you they're not going to make you pay taxes, unless except for the federal taxes. They're not going to make you pay any in-store, shit. They're just, fucking. They're gonna be like, yes, that's an extra 75,000 for us. Yes, we like that.
Right. But yeah, we'll keep you updated on that. September is the next hearing. We'll find out if he's gonna, go to jail, which I don't think so. But
Yeah, which is gonna be bullshit.
yeah, we'll
Or if he is scheduled to go to jail, it'll be like, oh, well, we'll let you do the fight first, and let's say, per chance he wins the fight, he'll just use the fight money to bail himself. It's literally like that with every celebrity.
it could just
You
be
know,
what's the word I'm looking for here? How everybody calls it? It might just be a what's the word I'm looking for here?
like,
They're
let's say
using it. They're using it for a hype up. They might be
yeah,
using this to hype him up for the
because
matches.
let's say they give him some like 3 years or $300,000 in for bail. Brother, he just dropped $200,000 in check, and that bounced. So if he wins, he's gonna be bringing cash. He's
Right.
just gonna float that shit right into your back pocket.
Right. Right. But like I said, we're gonna keep you guys posted on that. Right now, we're gonna talk about the Gilgo Beach serial killer case closes as Rex Heuermann admits to murdering 8 women. After more than a decade of investigation, heart-wrenching uncertainty for families, and one of the most notorious unsolved serial murders cases in recent American history, the Gilgo Beach killings have reached a grim resolution. Rex Heuermann, the 62-year-old Long Island architect, long accused of being the predator, formally admitted in court to strangling 8 women and disposing of their remains along remote stretches of Ocean Parkway and surrounding areas between the years of 1993 and 2010. His guilty plea in April 2026, followed by sentencing to multiple consecutive life, whoa, yeah, followed by sentencing to multiple consecutive life terms without the possibility of parole on June 17th, has finally brought a measure of closure to a saga that haunted Suffolk County and captivated national attention. Howerman, who maintained a seemingly ordinary life as a husband, father, and successful professional in Massapequa Park, was arrested in July of 2023 after investigators linked him to the crimes through DNA evidence recovered from a discarded pizza crust and other forensic traces. The breakthrough came during a renewed push in the investigation that began with the 2010 discovery of multiple sets of human remains while searching for missing escort Shannon Gilbert. Over the years, authorities connected Howerman to a pattern of targeting vulnerable women, many of whom worked as escorts, luring them before strangling them and dumping their bodies in burlap sacks or shallow graves near Gilgo Beach. In a packed courtroom in Riverhead, New York on April 8, 2026, Howerman calmly changed his plea. He admitted under questioning that he had strangled each of the 8 victims: Maureen Bryanard Barnes, Melissa Bartholomew, Megan Waterman, Amber Costello, Jessica Taylor, Valerie Mack, Sandra Costilla, and Karen Vergara before discarding their remains. His matter of fact allocution, repeating the method of killing for each, sent chills through the room as family members of the victims listened. Howerman had initially been charged with 7 murders. He acknowledged the 8. Karen Vergara. During the hearing, prosecutors described the killing as part of a calculated sadistic spree spanning nearly 2 decades. The sentencing hearing on June 17th brought raw emotion to the forefront. Relatives delivered powerful victim impact statements describing the profound lifelong pain caused by the losses. One family member called Howerman a soulless monster, while others spoke of shattered lives, lost futures, and the agony of waiting years for answers. Howerman offered a brief, understated response when given the chance to speak. Quote, he says, "There are no words I can say. The words I would say have no meaning." End quote. Suffolk County Supreme Court Justice Timothy P. Massey, Massey, visibly angered, condemned him as a disgusting, despicable, and small man and a coward before imposing 3 consecutive life sentences plus additional terms, ensuring he would never walk free again. Courtroom reactions included cheers as Howerman was removed. For the victims' families, the resolution ends years of torment. Many had criticized law enforcement for slow progress in the early years, feeling that the women, often marginalized due to their professions, were not prioritized. The case gained renewed urgency with advances in genealogy and DNA technology, which ultimately helped unmask Howerman despite his efforts to conceal his crimes. His former wife, Asa Elarup, later revealed in interviews in a documentary that he had confessed details to her, adding another layer of horror to the double life he led. The Gilgo Beach case stands as a stark reminder of the dangers faced by sex workers and the challenges of investigating serial crimes in the digital age. Howerman's architectural career and suburban existence contrasted sharply with the brutality of his actions, fueling public fascination and horror. While no additional victims have been definitively linked, authorities have not ruled out the possibility that more remains might be uncovered. As the courtroom emptied and the families began processing this long-awaited accountability, the end of the Howerman chapter offers painful but necessary finality after decades of unanswered questions. Now, before I move into these discussing questions, his wife knew about it?
Hold the fuck up. What?
Yeah, you didn't hear that?
So she was in on this shit.
It says, many criticize law enforcement, feeling that the women, okay. Wait. his former wife, Asa Elarup, later revealed in interviews in a documentary that he had confessed the details to her, adding another layer of horror to the double life he led.
So she was aiding and abetting a known criminal.
Yep. Why is she
Arrest
isn't
the
in jail?
bitch.
Yeah, why is she in jail?
It's a fucking literal crime. Depending on how many people he killed while she knew about it, she could literally be charged as an accomplice to insert however many murders.
Yeah.
I by the way, I need to stop watching Law and Order. That's how I know this shit.
Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Man, what I want is the part where they say, these are their stories. Hey, 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 hey. Ah. Oh, God. Ah. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move on to the discussing questions. How did advances in DNA technology and genetic genealogy, that's how you say it, genealogy, transforms the investigation into the Gilgo Beach killings? And what does this suggest for solving other cold cases? Number 2, in what ways does the Howerman case highlight societal attitudes towards vulnerable populations such as sex workers and missing persons in homicide investigations? And number 3, what lessons can law enforcement communities and families draw from the long pursuit and eventual resolution of this serial murder investigation regarding prevention, victim support, and justice? Tell us, Rev.
Now, what the real question should be is, why the fuck did he get caught off of a damn half-eaten
Pizza crust.
Pizza crust?
That means somebody was keeping an eye on him. That means they went through his garbage.
Therefore, that means, everyone, for those of you who don't eat your pizza crusts, eat them. Not saying you're gonna go around and,
Kill
stab
people.
hookers, but eat your pizza crusts.
No, he didn't stab
They're
hookers.
actually good.
He strangled them.
Stabbed, strangled, shot, hung from a ceiling, whatever. Still killed them. He did the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah.
Either way, he's now serving. He's serving so much time, brother. He's gonna die. The prison's gonna, go empty. They're gonna have to tear it down, and then they're gonna build a new prison somewhere else, and then they're probably gonna build some janky building on top of it, and he's gonna be the spirit that haunts it.
Exactly. That's what I think.
Watch it be a church that gets built over top of him, and then he's gonna be like, oh, lovely. Now, even better, it's gonna be a fucking whorehouse that gets built over him, and he's gonna be like, man, I deliberately tried to kill these people in my life, and so now they just go and build a whorehouse right over top of me to spite me.
Ha! He's gonna fucking hate his life.
Bro, his afterlife is gonna fuck this shit.
He's gonna I'm done. Just kill me again. I'm done. Okay. Well, moving along now to some tragic losses that we had this week. We're gonna start with the loss of Davy Chase, beloved voice of Lilo in Stitch and the chilling star of the Ring, has died at the age of 35. Again, the entertainer world, the entertainment world, is mourning the untimely passing of Davy Chase, the gifted child actors whose innocent charm and terrifying screen presence left an undeniable mark on generations of audiences. Best known as the voice of Lilo Palake in Disney's beloved animated classic Lilo and Stitch, and as the eerie, long-haired ghost Samara Morgan in the 2002 horror remake The Ring. Chase died on June 16, 2026, at the age of 35 in a Los Angeles hospital. Her death attributed to complications from bacterial meningitis and a severe blood infection leading to sepsis. Has prompted an outpouring of tributes from fans, colleagues, and family members, reflecting on her bright early talent and the challenges she faced in later years. Born on July 24th, 1990, in Las Vegas, Chase demonstrated remarkable talent from a young age. She burst onto the scene with memorable roles in the films like Donnie Darko in 2001, and provided the English dubbing for Chihiro in Studio Ghibli's Spirited Away. However, it was her dual 2002 performances that cemented her place in pop culture. As Lilo, the spirited and lonely Hawaiian girl who forms an unlikely bond with the chaotic alien Stitch, Chase brought warmth, vulnerability, and emotional depth to a character that became a Disney icon. The film themes of Family Ohana resonated deeply with audiences, and Chase reprised the role in sequels, television series, and related projects, becoming a comforting voice from many childhoods. The same year, she delivered one of the most unsettling horror performances in the recent memory as Samara in Gore Verbinski The Ring. Her portrayal of the vengeful child spirit crawling out of a well and then television screen terrified viewers and helped to make the film a massive box office success. The role earned her an MTV Movie Award for Best Villain and showcased her range far beyond typical child acting. Chase continued working in projects like Big Love, ER, and various voice roles. But as she transitioned into adulthood, public appearances became less frequent. In recent years, reports indicated Chase had faced significant personal struggles, including periods of homelessness and challenges with addiction and malnutrition. She was homeless and living in Los Angeles near the hospital where she died, according to her father. She had reportedly been living in an RV on Skid Row in Los Angeles with her boyfriend Roy Hernandez. She was hospitalized earlier in June of 2026 for malnutrition before her condition rapidly deteriorated due to meningitis and subsequent infections. Hernandez shared details of her final days, including a GoFundMe campaign launched just before her passing. Her father, John David Schwalier, confirmed cause of death to major outlets, noting the profound difficulties she encountered after her early stardom. News of her death quickly spread across social media, with fans sharing clips of her iconic roles alongside heartfelt messages. Many highlighted the contrast between the joyful Lilo and the nightmarish Samara, praising Chase's ability to embody such vastly different characters. Colleagues from the industry expressed shock and sorrow, remembering her as a talented young performer whose early promise was tempered by the harsh realities often faced by child stars. Chase's passing serves as a poignant reminder of the vulnerabilities that could persist long after the spotlight fades. While her body of work remains as a testament to her gifts, bringing laughter, tears, and chills to millions, her story also underscores broader conversations about support systems for young performers and the importance of mental and physical health in the entertainment industry. As tributes continue to pour in, her legacy endures through the timeless characters she helped create and the memories she left behind. Uh, Any discussing questions here. How do the contrasting roles of Leela and Samara illustrate in Davies Chase's impressive range as a child actress, and what does this reveal about the demands placed on young performers? Number two, in what ways might the pressures of early fame and subsequent homelessness contribute to the later challenges faced by child stars like Davy Chase? And what industry or social reforms could better support their transitions into adulthood? And number three, how can society and the entertainment community better honor the full humanity of actors beyond their iconic roles, especially in cases involving personal struggles, homelessness, and ultimately loss? Let us know in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen. Rev, what do you got?
Man, I just can't believe she was quite literally that young when she did Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I thought it was like an actual, like, when I got older, I thought it was an actual, like, professional, like, adult voice actor, not a literal kid.
I didn't know
Like,
that.
that's,
I thought that they were talking about The Grudge. Because I thought the Grudge kid comes out of the TV screen. I might just be confusing it then.
no, because if you remember, it's
It's the girl with the hair on her face,
yeah.
and she crawls out
If
of
I
the
remember,
TV.
yeah, you get a phone call. It's like 7 days, and continuously, and then just if I remember correctly, you see it, and then like 7 days later, comes out of the TV, and then boom. If I'm correct on how that whole premise goes. I know it has something to do with 7 days and then a ring appearing and then like crawls out of a well. The Grudge was completely something else. Both of them are dumb movies.
That was the Grudge is the one though that the chick is giving she's washing her hair and then a hand pops out right from her head or something like that. Isn't that the Grudge?
I never watched more than like 10 minutes of The Grudge, so I'm not entirely sure.
I might end up watching that tonight.
Yeah, you do that in the pitch black.
in
Go
the
ahead.
in the pitch black, yeah. Hey, so you know, about a couple weeks ago now, I
If
had
you're
a
gonna tell me anything scary, you can shut the fuck up.
no. I mean, it's scary, but it isn't a movie. It's what's happened here in our studio up here. So as you know, this is in the attic, and I never had in the as far as I lived here, we never had a bat here, and there's a bat in this room somewhere. I haven't been able to get it out. I don't know where it is. I haven't seen it in 2 weeks, and I know it's in this freaking
That
room.
that quite literally happened to me. Oh, 2, 3 years ever since like when I first moved in here. I have a hat right over there. Um, so I kept hearing this fucking like fluttering noise. Like, what the fuck did a bird get in here? Shit. And so I'm like, what the hell? And then so the bat somehow dove down underneath the brim of the hat and just started flying around the fucking room. And so I just calmly walk out. I go over to my father's room and I'm like, so how do you get rid of a bat? And he's thinking, hit a ball kind of bat. He's like, why do you need to get rid of a bat? Like you don't have a baseball or anything. And I'm like, no, like the one that flies. And he's like,
Why do
is
we have a
there
bat?
one in the? And then he's like, is there one in the house? I'm like, yeah, there's one flying around my room. And so he goes and grabs a fucking like broom, right?
Uh-huh.
And he's like, okay, now on the count of three, open up your window. And he's like, one, two, fucking open up the window now. I whack open that window, and all of a sudden I just hear a fucking bat just go shooting straight out that window.
Yeah, I don't know how like I haven't seen it. Like I said, I saw it once, and I don't know where it is since that's happened.
Brother, probably dead.
No, it hasn't smelled like death. It has not smelled like death. But
Oh,
my form of getting rid of a bat, I know this is some of you are not gonna be happy with me. But my form of getting a bat is getting a racket, and
I mean,
and
I
as soon
literally
as
just,
as soon as it's coming towards me, you better fucking. And the thing
I,
is,
I,
it
li-
doesn't die. I'm not trying to get it to die. I'm trying to knock it the fuck out with the racket. So then it's stunned on the ground and it's not moving, and then I grab it and then I throw it outside.
I literally just told a chat a whole entire story about how or how to get a bat out of the house. We hit a fucking bat with a goddamn broom, launching it outside of a two-story house, most likely into the neighbor's house, which is not even like 5 feet away. So chances are it got hit out my window into the neighbor's house. So it probably hit their house dead, fell straight to the ground, two
Yeah.
stories. So don't worry, I don't think anyone cares.
Nah, nah. Sorry, Peter. We're gonna move
Fuck
on
you,
now.
Peter.
We're gonna move on to the Grammy-nominated producer Tay Keith, found dead in Nashville at the age of 29. The music industry is reeling from the sudden loss of one of hip hop's most influential young talents, Britavious Chambers, professionally known as Tay Keith, was found dead in his apartment on Main Street in Nashville on June 18, 2026. The 29-year-old Memphis native celebrated for his signature booming 808s, hard-hitting hi-hats, and energetic producer tag that became synonymous with chart-topping hits, left an undeniable mark on the modern rap and trap music in a career that spanned less than a decade, but produced some of the genre's biggest anthems. Metro Nashville Police Department officers discovered Chambers unresponsive during a welfare check Thursday afternoon. Authorities have stated that no foul play is suspected, and his death remains unclassified pending autopsy results and further investigation. As of June 19th through now the 20th, no official cause of death has been released, with the investigation continuing. In the hours and days following the news, tributes poured in from across the industry, with artists, producers, and fans expressing shock and heartbreak over the ultimately passing of the prolific beatmaker still in the prime of his career. Born and raised in Memphis, Tay Keith first gained widespread recognition in 2018 with Block Boy JB's Look Alive, featuring Drake. The track Infectious Energy had his unmistakable producer tag propelled it to a massive commercial success. He quickly became a go-to collaborator for major stars, crafting Drake's nonstop, Travis Scott's Diamond Certified Sicko Mode, Beyonce's Before I Let You Go, Eminem's Not Alike, Sexy Red's Pound Town, and many more high-profile credits. His Grammy nomination underscores the critical and commercial impact of his work, which helped define the sound of 2010s and 2020s in hip-hop. Beyond the hits, Tay Keith was remembered by those who knew him as a humble, driven artist deeply rooted in in his Memphis upbringing. He graduated from he graduated from Middle Tennessee State University and maintained strong ties to his hometown while building a life in Nashville's vibrant music scene. Collaborators like Key Glock and others shared national messages highlighting his work ethic, creativity, and the inspiration he provided to a new generation of producers. In his final Instagram post, he encouraged others to keep creating music they love, a fitting coda for a life dedicated to the craft. The news has sparked widespread reflection on the pressures faced by young creators in the music industry, where rapid success coexists with intense demands and personal challenges. While details surrounding the circumstances of his death remain limited and the autopsy is still pending, the outpouring of love from the hip hop community highlights the profound void left by his absence. Jay Keith's beats will continue to echo through speakers and playlists for years to come, cementing his legacy as one of the architects of a defining era in rap music. And here's some ending discussion questions to those that at least know Tay Keith's history, because I know me and Revelation are not very familiar with Tay Keith. But here's the ending discussing questions. Number one, how did Tay Keith's distinctive production style influence the evolution of trap and hip hop in the late 2010s and beyond? And in what ways do the pressures of sudden fame and the demand of music industry potentially contribute to the vulnerabilities faced by young artists and producers? And number three, and what can the broader music community learn from Tay Keith's career and legacy about supporting emerging talent and fostering sustainable creative environments? Now, little quick little bit of a backtrack here. I would like to say my condolences to the friends and families, to both Davy Chase and Tay Keith's family and friends, and we support you in this time of healing, and and farewell to those that made a change in the industry and in our lives. For now, we're going to move on to Carlos Mencia being charged with failing to report more than $8 million in earnings. Comedian Carlos Mencia, best known for his Comedy Central series Mind of Mencia, was arrested at his Los Angeles home on June 18, 2026, and charged with 12 felony counts related to a tax evasion. Prosecutors allege the 58-year-old comedian, whose real name is Ned Arnell Holness, failed to file personal and corporate tax returns from 2019 through 2024, failing to report approximately $8.7 million in combined personal income and earnings from his company, Nedlos Entertainment. The charges have thrust the once prominent stand-up comic back into the headlines amid accusations that paint a picture of prolonged financial non-compliance. The Los Angeles County District Attorney Nathan Hochman announced the charges during a news conference, describing Mencia as one of California's biggest tax scufflaws. According to prosecutors, Mencia alleged ignored 78 demand notices from the California Franchise Tax Board over the 6-year period. The unreported income resulted in more than $300,000 in unpaid state taxes, with potential interest and penalties that could nearly double the amount owed. The case represents the first filed by the DA's newly established business tax fraud unit. Mencia faces 6 felony counts of failure to file personal income tax with the intent to evade taxes, one for each tax year, and 6 similar counts for corporate taxes. If convicted on all charges, he could face more than 11 years in state prison. In addition to repaying the taxes, interest, and penalties, he was held on a $250,000 bail following his arrest, and is scheduled for arraignment on June 22nd as of June 19th to the 20th today. No plea has been entered, and his legal representatives have not publicly commented. Give me one moment. I just need to take a sip out of this. The development comes years after Mencia's peak fame in the mid-2000s, when the mind of Mencia brought him widespread recognition for his provocative, boundary-pushing humor. In one of notable early routine, he had spoken positively about the importances of paying taxes, a clip that resurfaced on social media following news of the charges. Drawing sharp commentary from observers, the comedian has maintained a lower public profile in recent years, with occasional stand-up appearances in other projects. The allegation highlights broader issues around the high-earning entertainers' tax compliance, particularly in California, where state authorities have ramped up enforcement against delinquents. Investigators reportedly conducted a search of Mencia's residence shortly after his arrest. While the charges focus solely on state obligations, prosecutors noted that federal tax compliance issues may also exist, but are not part of this case. Mencia's career was not without prior controversy, including long-standing accusations of joke theft from other comedians, a topic that reemerged in online discussions following his arrest. Supporters and critics alike have weighed in on social media, with some expressing surprise at scale of alleged unreported earnings, and others viewing the situation through the lens of his past public persona. As the legal process unfolds, this case serves as a stark reminder of the obligations that accompany a financial success in the entertainment industry and the consequences of ignoring repeated official warnings from tax authorities. Here's my ending discussions. What factors might lead successful entertainers like Carlos Mencia to fall behind on tax filings over multiple years? And how do repeated ignored notices escalate such situations? And in what ways do cases like this one reflect broader challenges in tax enforcement against high-profile individuals? And what role should new specialized units like the Business Tax Fraud Unit play? And number three, how might public perceptions of Mencia's past controversies, including joke-stealing allegations, influence reactions to these tax charges? And what does this reveal about celebrity accountability? Send it. What do you got?
Let him fucking burn. He's the one that made the whole entire yes, always pay taxes joke. So if you're not gonna pay your taxes, and you're a rich celebrity, well, you're go down with that fucking ship. Like, you're problem now.
He wanted to play stupid games. He's going to win stupid prizes. Way to go, Carlos Mencia. Went from stealing jokes to not paying your taxes for the last 6 years. Moving on.
I mean,
go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, even the Joker knew not to mess with the IRS.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move down to our last two topics of the night not until now. We're going to pass it over to Revelation before the end of the night. Right now, we're going to touch the Knicks championship parade. Unites New York City as fans flood streets to celebrate the NBA title. On June 18, 2026, New York City transformed into a sea of blue and orange as hundreds of thousands of fans poured into the streets of Lower Manhattan for the New York Knicks championship parade. Celebrating the franchise's first NBA title in 53 years, the victory over the San Antonio Spurs is a thrilling 5-game NBA Finals series had already electrified the city, but the parade represented something deeper, a long overdue moment for collective redemption for a fan base that had waited through the decades of heartbreak, rebuilds, and near misses. From the Battery Park through iconic Canyon of Heroes along Broadway to City Hall, the route became a river of humanity, with estimates placing the crowd at nearly 2 million people who lined sidewalks, climbed scaffolding, and waved signs hours before the procession even began. The Knicks championship run was defined by resilience and star power, led by Finals MVP Jalen Brunson, who delivered one clutch performance after another, averaging over 32 points per game in the playoffs. The team showcased remarkable chemistry. Carl Anthony Town, Carl Anthony Towns, Michael Bridges, OG Ananobi, and Josh Hart provided the perfect supporting cast, blending elite scoring, lockdown defense, and gritty hustle under head coach Mike Brown. The series against the Spurs reached legendary status in Game 4 when the Knicks staged a stunning 29-point comeback, one of the most dramatic rallies in recent finals histories. In the decisive Game 5, Bronson poured in 45 points to secure a 94-90 victory in San Antonio, capping a season that reminded everyone why basketball holds such a special place in New York's cultural fabric. As the parade unfolded, the energy was electric. Open-top buses carried the players, coach, staff, and the gleaming Larry O'Brien trophy through the cheering masses. Knicks legend like Patrick Ewing and Walt Frazier joined the celebration, sharing stories and waving to fans who had grown up idolizing them. Celebrities added to the star power, with Timothy Chalamet spotted among the crowd, and Mayor Zoran Mandani presiding over the City Hall ceremony. Alicia Keys delivered a powerful rendition of Empire State of Mind, while the team and fans belted out anthems together, creating scenes of pure catharsis. Sanitation workers even Sanitation workers and even some police officers joined the festivities, swaying to Frank Sinatra's New York, New York, as ticker tape rained down like confetti from the skyscrapers above. For many New Yorkers, the day went beyond sports. It was a rare, unifying event in a city often divided by its fast pace and diverse pressures. Families brought multiple generations together, with grandparents recounting the 1973 championship alongside children experiencing the magic for the first time. Local businesses reported record crowds, and the city's transit system ran extra services to accommodate the massive turnout. Analysts noted how the Knicks front office had built this contender through smart drafting, strategic trades, and a commitment to culture, qualities that resonated far outside Madison Square Garden. The victory boosted civic pride at a time when the city, like the rest of the nation, navigated broader challenges, reminding everyone of sports' power to foster community and hope. As the celebration stretched late into the night with block parties and watch events across the boroughs, the 2026 Knicks championship stood as a testament to perseverance. After more than half a century, the franchise had returned to the summit, proving that patience, hard work, and belief can still yield glory in one of the world's most demanding sports markets. The parade wasn't just a victory lap. It was a city reclaiming a piece of its identity and looking forward to what comes next. Now, my ending discussing questions: how do major championship parades like the Knicks victory, celebrating strength, community bonds, and civic pride in large, diverse cities? What does the Knicks' path to the 2026 title reveal about the importance of team chemistry, leadership, and organizational patience in modern professional sports? And number 3, in what ways might this championship influence the broader New York sports landscape? Landscape, fan culture, and the franchise future ambitions for sustained success. Let us know in the comments. Do you have anything to say about the game?
Fan culture? What fucking fan culture does New York have?
What?
What fan culture does the city of New York have? They literally, when the game was going on, if you were wearing a Spurs shirt,
They were jumping you.
yes. And after the game was over, when they won the championship, It wasn't happy-go-lucky like that article you just read was. They literally were burning shit.
Yeah, I
They
mean,
were beating windows in.
yeah,
They
they
were
burned the city to
raiding,
the ground like they usually
looting.
do.
Like, it was the people were taken to the hospital. There were dead people were murdered. Like,
somebody
it,
somebody was passed out on top of this thing too. Did you see that video? I think I posted it.
yes, I did.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was like people say, oh, Philly or New England or Kansas or they're all like horrible cities when they won because they just did this and this and that and it's like did you just not see what New York just did? They didn't just burn down things because like most cities do when they get all drunk and shit. No, they literally raided stores and shit, and before they had even won, were beating the shit out of people. Like they could have lost that game, and they had already beaten the shit out of people. Like, like not their own people. It would have been different if they were beating the shit out of their own people. No, people from other fucking states had come over to their state and they're like, yes, you're not wearing our colors. Power Rangers assemble, jump them in an alley.
Yep. A lot of people got jumped. A lot of people got mugged. A couple people died. At least a couple people died.
Like,
But congratulations to the New York Knicks. 53 years. They definitely deserve it. Now, we're going to move down to the FIFA World Cup, our last article. FIFA World Cup 2026 updates, early surprises, American momentum, and high stakes group drama. We got a timeline for this one between the dates of the 15th through today, the 19th. As the 2026 FIFA World Cup continues to captivate the audiences across North America, the period from June 15 to today has delivered a compelling block of shock results, dominant displays by host nations, and the electric atmosphere that only an expanded 48-team tournament can generate. With matches spread across iconic venues in the United States, Canada, and Mexico, the group stage has already produced historic moments, intense tactical battles, and unforgettable fan experiences, setting the stage for a dramatic push towards the knockout rounds. The action kicked off strongly on June 15 with several tightly contested fixtures that underscored the competitiveness of the new format. In Atlanta, Spain were held to a surprising goalless draw by debutant Cabo Verde, whose disciplined defense frustrated the European champions and earned widespread praise. Meanwhile, in Seattle, Belgium and Egypt played out in an entertaining one-on-one draw. And in Miami, Saudi Arabia fought back to share the points in a one-on-one settlement with Uruguay. Over in Los Angeles, Iran and New Zealand treated fans to a four-goal thriller that ended a 2-2, highlighting how the expanded field gives more nations a realistic chance to make their mark on the global stage. On June 16, brought a higher scoring affairs and established favorites flexing their muscles. France opened their campaign in commanding fashion with a 3-1 victory over Senegal at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, displaying the attacking depth that makes them perennial contenders. Norway dismantled Iraq 4-1 in Boston, while Argentina cruised past Algeria 3-0 in Kansas City. Austria also impressed, defeating Jordan 3-1 in San Francisco Bay Area, as European sides largely asserted their pedigree in these early encounters. The following day, June 17th, featured more goal-filled action. England overcame Croatia 4-2 in a lively Group L match in Dallas, showcasing their attack firepower. Ghana edged Panama 1-0 in Toronto. Portugal played to a one-on-one draw with Congo DR in Houston. And Colombia secured a 3-1 win over Uzbekistan in Mexico City. These results kept several groups wide open and emphasized the importance of every point in the race for advancement. June 18th belonged to the co-hosts. Canada sent a powerful message with a surrounding 6-0 thrashing of Qatar in Vancouver, igniting home fans and boosting their qualification hopes in Group B. In Guadalajara, Mexico earned a hard-fought 1-0 victory over Korea Republic, while Switzerland comfortably defeated Bosnia and Herzegovina 4-1 in Los Angeles. A one-on-one draw between Czechia and South Africa in Atlanta added balance to the day proceedings. And on June 19th, today, the spotlight shone brightly in the United States. The U.S. delivered a confident 2-0 win over Australia at Lumen Field in Seattle, securing their place in the round of 32 with a match to spare. The performance marked by strong first half control and contribution from emerging talents, delighted home crowds, and signaled growing maturity in the American program. In Boston that same day, Morocco defeated Scotland 1-0 in an intense Group C clash, with Israel Sabari netting the fastest goal of the tournament just 71 seconds in. Brazil followed up with a solid victory over Haiti, keeping their knockout ambitions firmly intact. Throughout this stretch, the tournament's expanded format has been both a blessing and a source of drama. More teams mean more opportunities for surprises, yet traditional powers like France, England, Argentina, and Brazil continue to look sharp. Co-host performances have been particularly encouraging, with the United States and Canada showing that home advantage and investment in the sport are paying dividends. Summer heat has necessitated hydration breaks, adding a tactical layer to matches and sparking discussions about player welfare. Off the pitch, the cultural impact has been immense. Boston's transformation under the Scottish Tartan Army remains one of the standout stories, with thousands of passionate fans filling pubs to capacity, marching through the streets with bagpipes and chants, and even taking over Fenway Park for a special Scottish Heritage Night. While bars struggle to keep up with demand, some tripling orders, and still running low on popular lagers, the atmosphere of camaraderie has been overwhelmingly positive and economically beneficial. As the group stage heads towards its conclusion, qualification scenarios are becoming clearer, with 16 teams set to advance directly and others eyeing third place progression. The blend of surprises, home nation momentum, and passionate international support has made the opening phase of the World Cup 2026 a memorable one, promising even greater excitement as the tournament progresses deeper into June and July. Now, my ending discussing questions. How has the 48-team format influenced the level of surprises and competitiveness observed in the early group stage matches from June 15th to the 19th? Number two, in what ways are the strong performances by co-host nations like the United States and Canada likely to impact the long-term development of soccer in North America? And number three, what role do vibrant fan bases such as Scotland Tartan Army and Boston play in shaping the overall success and atmosphere of major international tournaments? Let us know in the comment section, as always, ladies and gentlemen. You got anything about the FIFA?
I still find it hilarious that we're both getting loved and hated. They're like, oh, yes, American culture is so good. And then there's people who are like, "Oh man, these stadiums are absolute dog shit. You have to walk so many miles to get there." And it's like, well, maybe if your country wasn't the size of, you know, like maybe if three of your counties weren't the size of Massachusetts, then you would have the ability to like produce some of these stadiums, like like you know, and they're like, oh well, maybe you should start having stadium built or like parking lots built underground, and it would then be much harder for people like if parking garages that are built up are harder to have people come out of, and it's much longer in wait times. Imagine what the ones built underground are, and imagine all the exhaust fumes. Like, that's pretty dumb. Like, that's why in the US, where everything is built around the car, there's wide open parking lots surrounding it, except in New Jersey, where MetLife Stadium is, where there's actually parking garages.
Yeah.
And everyone usually complains when they have to walk. And I don't know. Apparently, the heat has been working quite well in our favor. Because
Hey,
everyone else is like, yes, these hydration breaks. This water is wonderful. And I'm pretty sure we've only taken like 3 hydration breaks.
I think so. But, ladies and gentlemen, the moment that you've been waiting for. It's our ads before we send it to Revelation.
You go fuck yourself.
Ladies and gentlemen, this portion of the show is always brought to you by the Cayville. The Cayville Hotel and Tavern, located down in Klein-Felchersville, Pennsylvania. Now, we're open from Wednesday to Sunday, 4 to 9 Wednesday and Thursday, 4 to 10 Friday, 12 to 10 Saturday, and 12 to 8 p.m. Sunday. They're located down in 2647 Heidelberg Avenue, Klein-Felchersville, Pennsylvania, 17039. Their phone number for any questions or reservations are 717-949-8413. The Cayville Hotel and Tavern. Make sure to go down and try their sliders and their peanut butter and jelly burger. We also have Atlas Epoxy Floors as our next sponsor. Anything epoxy, they can do it for you. Just give them a call at 203-496-6386 or email at brad.kelly@atlasepoxyfloors.com. They work on everything, ladies and gentlemen. Anything that you need epoxy, garages, basement, patios, lobbies, countertops, you name it. He can travel anywhere across the country. Bradford Kelly is the CEO and owner. So if you call him or check out his website at www.atlasepoxyfloors.com, you can find out all the information and all the locations that he can travel. If the location is not in there, make sure to contact Bradford Kelly and ask him how far can he go. Again, 203-496-6386 or email at brad.kelly@atlasepoxyfloors.com. Again, they're located down in Milford, Connecticut. So make sure to ask our good friends down at Atlas Epoxy Floors if they can travel anywhere in the country. Next, we got Velocity Modern Classics, located down in 15 East Quintet Road in Cantonment, Florida. Zip code 32533. You can visit their website, velocityrestorations.com, for any facts that you guys are trying to find, information on what vehicles they work on, what kind of production line they go through, which is F100s, F250s, F350s. Man, they do so much work, guys. I don't even know where to begin. So make sure to visit velocityrestorations.com for all information needs. You can also call them at 850-466-1810. They are open from Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., depending if it's not a federal holiday. And last and not least, a little reminder. Again, we're on a show called The Movement through this channel that you see here above me. Producer Mike presents in the Jessup Show Legacy. We're on The Movement every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Time live. So make sure to tune in. Come with us, hang out while we talk about some drama that is happening within the show with some other people that are involved with us, and also on around the world. We go around the world. We also, meaning around the world, that we go through webcams around the world. Right now we're planning to take a trip down to the Elbow Room down in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Yeah, we're planning some trips out. Hopefully they can get done. If not, I know that in the future that will be happening. So, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned on that. Again, Producer Mike presents in the Jessup Show's Legacy. There's a show in there. If you press the live button, The Movement. Again, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Check us out. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to pass it through our good friend Revelation.
Okay, so for those of you who are fans of the most famous kaiju that there is, Lego is now finally releasing the officially licensed Godzilla set, expected to release on Godzilla Day in 2026, which I have no idea when that is. We will find out in this article, though. The long-awaited Godzilla Lego set is finally eyeing a release date around this time last year. Keep in mind this was written June 12th. Lego set out on a mission to create an officially licensed Godzilla set, but instead of Lego themselves designing the set, Lego Goji, they turned to us, the fans, opening up submissions on their Lego Ideas blog, which I never knew existed. Fans from around the world could submit their concept designs for a Gojira Lego set. And after a few gained over 10,000 votes, Toho stamped their approval on one of them. I guess Toho is who makes it? Like the actual Godzilla? Don't know. Here's the thing, though. We don't know which one. The only indicator of what the Lego Goji design might look like came from an official Lego magazine back in their March of 2026 issue. The Lego set is scheduled to hit retailers and become available for online purchase officially on Godzilla Day in this year, which is November the 3rd. The date is rather fitting and would coincide with other exciting Godzilla Day releases like Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee Remaster, the Fest Godzilla 3 short film, and of course the highly anticipated release of Takahashi Yamazaki's Godzilla Minus Zero. The addition of this Lego set would be icing on the top of already stacked cake. That is the end of that article. I will be moving on to the next one. I gotta find it in my 6,000 things of bookmarks, though, which I need to clear out. Here it is. No, I don't give a fuck about ads. Okay, this one is Lego Target's Father's Day deals. So specifically, Target is running a Father's Day sale this week with select Lego sets getting a 20% discount. So if you are somebody who has a father that likes Legos, or you are a father that just needs an excuse to, get Legos on the cheap, Target's gotcha, especially the Speed Champions, Star Wars, and Technic sets with some icons sprinkled in. You keep in mind that if you have the Target Circle card, you can save an additional 5% as well, meaning up to 25%. Hold on, because I think that might be more. Is that really all it is?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Target!
Okay, well, yeah, that's all that is. That was kind of bullcrap. I thought it was going to be more. Yeah, so what it looked like from in the picture was, for Star Wars, it was the Death Star and the ATTE. The Technics are obviously what we already know, the ones with the little thin like motors and everything, and the Speed Hunters are the cars. So I do know the ATTE and the what do you call it, the Death Star are fairly expensive. So that 25% discount will come in quite handy if you like Legos. And they'll give you bragging rights if a friend also likes it and they didn't get it.
You got that?
Yeah.
You got that Russia stuff?
Oh yeah. And by the way, everyone, so about the Russian military or
The Moscow attack.
The Russian special operation that's been going on.
The Moscow attack.
BBC is claiming that it was a drone, a 200 drone attack by Ukraine that hit a massive oil silo and set it off and whatnot. There's oil raining down all over, like, surrounding houses in Moscow. Yada yada yada. Well, I've seen some footage that's been circulating the internet. I forget. It was, I think, somebody who actually lived close to that area in one of the houses. And it was I forget why they were filming it. It looked like there was some military vehicles there, right? And they're like, oh well, they were speaking in Russian, and there were subtitles obviously, and you could see like some long black object come in, and then just boom, explosion. And I don't know about you, but if you know anything about these drones, they are not a long black object. They're about maybe the size of like a small kitchen table. Which is why, like, when you hear one of them, like when soldiers hear one of them in those videos, they immediately look up because they generate a massive amount of noise. Like, and they usually just like
Brought to you by
straight
Michael
down. Like they don't come down like that. They just go. So whatever it was, not drones. Chances are it was a missile. And knowing the fact that most of the people in Russia have been sent to the front lines, not very smart people launching off these rockets. Chances are it was a misguided missile. Probably ended up hitting that thing. And then Which they're lucky it was, if that was, they're lucky it was the oil derrick that it hit and not the, bunch of town, like bunch of houses in the town, not even 20 feet away.
Really?
So I'm not kidding. 20 feet away were a bunch of houses. That's how the dude was filming it.
Wow.
Because in the video he was like, oh well, why is there a bunch of military vehicles at the oil station? And like, blah 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 blah. Next thing he knows, fucking explosion goes off, breaks the windows and everything. Like you can see the camera just doing this, and just explosion, and like you can see like black smoke, and then just like the video got cut off. Like, and that was the end of the video.
Is there any more updates as we know about it, or was that all?
The one from the BBC was like the one right before we did the started doing the podcast, and they were the one that said 200 drones from Ukraine, which, like I said, I don't believe. Like,
They're just gonna use that as an excuse, maybe.
yeah, they're like, oh, well, these are the ones most likely to target them. I'm not gonna target somebody's oil. I'm gonna target, military vehicles. Because,
Right.
yeah, you can have all the oil you want. If you don't got things to put it into, like, come on. Because you can always import shit, like import oil to put shit into. You can't, you ain't got nothing to put it into. Kind of pointless.
True. True. Well, guess what? That's a wrap for tonight's episode of Unbound, Season 2, Episode 29. Tonight we covered another extraordinary week of developments where international diplomacy, politics, crime, culture, technology, entertainment, and sports all converged to shape the global conversation. We began with the with the Iran Daily Chronicle here, the Iran War Daily Chronicle, covering from June 16th through the 19th, following the announcement of a major U.S. Iran agreement that introduced a 60-day ceasefire, reopened the Strait of Hormuz, outlined sanctions relief measures, and established new nuclear commitments. Yet, even amid signs of progression, lingering tensions involving Israel, Hezbollah, and regional security continue to remind us that lasting peace remains a complex and fragile goal. We then traveled to Chicago for the unveiling of the Obama's Presidential Center, where Barack and Michelle Obama celebrated the completion of a landmark project intended to serve as a symbol of civic engagement, education, and opportunity on the city's south side. From there, we examined the unexpected challenges facing the newly renovated Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool, where concerns over algae growth and structural issues have already sparked questions about maintenance, oversight, and the stewardship of one of America's most recognizable landmarks. We also explored Ohio's renewed social media restrictions for minors under 16 after a federal appeal court reinstated the law, highlighting the growing national debate surrounding parental rights, online safety, and digital privacy and responsibilities of technology companies. In legal news, we covered the felony charges facing Floyd Mayweather in Las Vegas in a tax evasion case against comedian Carlos Mencia. Two stories that once again demonstrate how public figures remain subject to intense legal and public scrutiny. We also discussed one of the most significant criminal cases in recent memory as Rex Howerman admitted responsibility for 8 murders connected to the Gilgo Beach investigation, bringing a measure of closure to victim families after years of uncertainty and unanswered questions. And entertainment reflected on the lives of and careers of actors Davy Chase and Grammy nominated producer Tay Keith, whose reported passing left fans mourning the loss of two influential talents. Those work touch audiences across generations and genres. On the sports front, we celebrated alongside millions of New Yorkers as the Knicks championship parade transformed Manhattan into a sea of blue and orange, marking the end of a 53-year wait for an NBA title and delivering a historic moment for one of basketball's most passionate fan bases. And finally, we brought you the latest from the 2026 FIFA World Cup, where dramatic upsets, passionate supporters, and unforgettable performances continue to showcase why the tournament remains one of the world's most captivating sporting events. From diplomatic breakthroughs and landmark court decisions to tragedy, justice, celebration, and competition, this week's once again demonstrated how interconnected our world has become and how every headline carries consequences that extended far beyond the moment itself. Now, before we go, ladies and gentlemen, I want to take a moment to highlight two important issues: mental health and domestic violence. These affect millions every day, but help is available. If you or someone you know is struggling with stress, anxiety, or feeling overwhelmed, support is available. In the United States, you can call or text 988 to reach the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Trained counselors are available 24/7. If you're experiencing domestic violence or need help, you can contact the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233 for confidential support and resources. You're not alone, ladies and gentlemen, and reaching out is always a sign of strength, not weakness. Thank you for watching Unbound. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Drop your thoughts below. Which story stood out to you the most this week? And we'll see you next time. Stay informed, stay aware, but most of all, stay unbound. I'm Jey Morales, and before I fully let you go, we're going to send it to Revelation to say his goodbyes and send us on our way.
Thank you all for, stopping by, listening to our juicy little tidbits. We would like to make sure you are safe. Hope you sleep well tonight. And, for everyone that showed up, thank you. And tell others of the podcast so that they can come and enjoy the juicy tidbits that we have and then, enjoy the, fuckery that we have, in between the tidbits of, and, info that we have. The word of today is let me think real fast. You know what? Actually, no. It's not going to be a word of the day. It's going to be a brand. The brand of today is RC Cola, the best damn soda that there is. And if you disagree with me, I don't care. I would die on that hill.
Now,
anyways,
should they be a sponsor?
Out.
They should be.
I hope they are. Because then we get sponsored by Coke, too. I believe. That might be Mellow Yellow, the second best damn soda there is. Anyways, we're going to play you out.
To the cosmos. Ride. broken down. From the heaviest doubts to the wildest sin. If you rode with us through the smoke and flame, you fought the fire, you know the name. Jey Morales, Unbound. Shaking minds across the battleground. Jey Morales, Unbound. From the couch to the stairs, hear the mighty song. Late night warriors gathered round the flame, lifting spirits through the brain. Jey Morales, Unbound. When the truth comes down, you can't hold it back. Oh, we chased the rumors, checked the claims, laughed in the madness, fanned the flames. From internet fires to the cosmic unknown, we walk the air where few have gone. No skips, no limits, just the war to read. Every question sharp and like to Leo Steel. Revelation rising, Jey set the tone, turning quiet nights into epic thrones. We slowed it down when the world got loud, gave the silence power, let the truth come and brown. We touched it out, tore the veil away, found the light where the shadows play. If you stayed until the final round, you were the crew to bail it on. Jey Morales, Unbound. Shaking lines across the battleground. Jey Morales, Unbound. From the deepest dark to the highest ground. No fear, no tears, no looking back. The voice of the night is on the attack. From the couch to the stars, through the smoke and the scars, we become who we are. In the silence between the questions lies the truth that sets us free. No fear, no takes, no looking back. The voice of the light is on the attack.
Thank you for your patronage.
Jey Morales, Unbound. And the heavens shake when you hear my sound. Jey Morales, Unbound. From the underground earth, let it resound. Jey Morales, Unbound. When the lifted eyes around, you can't stop that sound. When the truth comes crashing
Thank you for watching Unbound. If you enjoyed the episode, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. Drop your thoughts below. Which story stood out to you the most this week? We'll see you next time. Stay informed, stay aware, but most of all, stay unbound. This was Jey Morales Unbound, with his co-host Revelation on 67.6 FM. Good night.
But the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.